Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it may be when you're listening to this. I hope you have had or will have a wonderful day. We are at day number 23. This is Rabbi Moshe Rothschild coming to you from the Holy Land of Israel. Let's jump into today's message, number 23. You know, there are a lot of things different about living in Israel. One of them is our transportation system, our bus system. And the way it kind of works here is if a lot of people are getting on the bus at once, the driver just tells everyone, move to the back, and one by one, people pass their money up to the front, and then the driver will pass back the change, and it's a little bit chaotic, but that's kind of how it'll work. And once there was a scene, this is exactly what happened. The bus was crowded and everyone just piled on. The driver starts driving and people are passing up their money left and right and getting change. It's a very, very messy scene. And there was a little boy on the bus, a 7-year-old boy. He sends his money up and the driver says, no, you already paid. And he sends the money back to the boy, refusing to receive the money. A few minutes later, the bus is, chugging along, and they hear the sound of a boy crying, of a little boy crying. And the adults on the bus look and they see this 7-year-old boy, he's crying, tears running down his face. And they say to him, why are you crying? And he says to them in Hebrew, Ani lo rutze liot shakran. I don't want to be a liar. And he insists on sending his money back because he knew that he had not paid. In the book of Deuteronomy, it says, Midvar sheker tirchak, distance yourself from falsehood, from lying. It's the only example we really have of this in the Torah. Most times when there's a prohibition or something God doesn't want us to do, not most times, all the time, except for this example, it does not say to distance yourself from it. It simply tells you not to do it. But here it's saying not only should you not lie, but don't even come close to lying. You should be at a great distance from lying. Don't be suspected. Don't have any scent of falsehood around you. And this is a very powerful idea. The sages tell us that the seal of God is truth. Right? Chutmo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu emet. That's the seal of God is truth. God wants us to live in truth. He wants us to live as people of integrity because he didn't create robots in this world. He doesn't just want us to do the right thing because everyone else is doing it, but we have to understand that we have to live our lives from a point of truth. We have to realize what is the ultimate truths in this world. The book in Psalm 145, it tells us, Karov Hashem l'chol karav, L'chol asher yikrahu v'emet. God is close to the person that calls out to him in truth. Don't we want to be close to God? The way you get close to God is to call out to him, to pray to him in truth. Don't pray to God or turn to God or have a relationship with God because you think it's going to get you something. You have a relationship with God because it's based on the truth. It's based on knowing that God is your mother, God is your father, and he wants to have a relationship with you, and he wants to live your life. He wants you to live your life in relationship to other people from a point of truth. There's nothing in this world that can be achieved through falsehood that will be everlasting. Truth will always have its way. There's a story told in the Talmud, a powerful story about Rav Safra. Rav Safra had a few items to sell, and a man came to buy one of those items. But Rav Safra was deep in prayer. And the man said to Rav Safra, I'll give you, say, $100 for this. But Rav Safra couldn't respond because he was engaged in prayer. And the man mistook his silence. He thought Rav Safra wasn't satisfied with the price. So he said, you know what, I'll give you $200. But Rav Safra still couldn't respond. He said, I'll give you $500 and $1,000 and $2,000. He went up to an enormously high number. And finally, Rav Safra finished his prayers. And he said to the man, I'm happy to sell you the item. The price is $100. Even though the man had been willing to pay so much more for it, but Rav Safra understood that he had to be truthful, even if it meant losing out on an enormous sum of money. And that's a very, very difficult test for us. It's easy to tell the truth when it's easy to tell the truth. But truth is demanded in every circumstance of our life. If you want to live a life of spirituality, a life of godliness, it requires us to be truth tellers, both in our relationship to God, in our relationship to our fellow man. So I challenge you, the exercise is to go through, try it for one day, and every interaction you have with someone, to be honest, to be truthful, and hopefully that day can lead to many more days and a life filled with truthfulness. And that is the truth and nothing but the truth. Thanks for listening. I wish you the deepest blessings from the land of Israel. We are getting close, folks. Just another week, we'll be celebrating Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. So have a great day. See ya with the tune of Rabbi Shlomo Katz.